Hi. Um, so we're going to continue our study of the book known as the Kitab-i-Iqan, or the Book of Certitude, which Baha'u'llah wrote. And we're just beginning on page 89, which is the very first part of part 2. And he writes, "Verily, he who is the day star of truth and revealer of the Supreme Being, holdeth for all time undisputed sovereignty over all that is in heaven and on earth, though no man be found on earth to obey him." So, and then he says, "He verily is independent of all earthly dominion, though he be utterly destitute." So what is Baha'u'llah talking about here? He was the day star of truth and the revealer of the Supreme Being. He's talking about the divine messenger who has been sent down from the heaven of God to educate the human race. And this divine messenger, in one age and cycle, is Moses. And in another age and cycle, this messenger is Jesus. And in another time and people, this messenger is Muhammad. And in another time and place, this messenger may be White Buffalo Calf Woman. And in another time and place, this messenger may be Quetzalcoatl. But in every age, there have been divine messengers. And they've come to the world so that there wouldn't be any place on earth where people did not have guidance that came directly from God. And that's who the day star of truth and the revealer of the Supreme Being is. And what Baha'u'llah is saying is that that messenger, whoever he is, no matter how powerless he may appear on earth, holdeth forever undisputed sovereignty over all that is in heaven and on earth. Well, since we're talking about not one manifestation, but many, and since Baha'u'llah is saying this person holds undisputed sovereignty over all that is in heaven and earth, clearly this person must be in complete unity with all of the other manifestations, because what Baha'u'llah is saying is true of all of them. They hold undisputed sovereignty. He says he's verily independent of all earthly dominion, though he be utterly destitute. So, although to outward seeming he has nothing, in truth, in reality, seen with spiritual eyes, he's the king. Then Baha'u'llah writes, "Thus we reveal unto thee the mysteries of the cause of God, and bestow upon thee the gems of divine wisdom, that haply," that means hopefully, "thou mayest soar on the wings of renunciation to those heights that are veiled from the eyes of men." So what is he saying there? He's saying Baha'u'llah is sharing these gems of truth with us hopefully will be inspired to renounce our own selfish interests, and in doing so, become privy to the mysteries, the spiritual mysteries that are veiled from worldly pursuits and people who spend all their time on them. So that paragraph that I just read, that is the introductory paragraph of part 2 of the Kitab-i-Iqan, the Book of Certitude. Let me see if, no, there's no explanation in this book about parts 1 and 2. Okay. Excuse me. Now I'm going to read the first paragraph, where he says, the significance and essential purpose underlying these words that we just, is to reveal and demonstrate unto the pure in heart and the sanctified in spirit that they who are the luminaries of truth and the mirrors reflecting the light of divine unity, in whatever age and cycle they are sent down from their invisible habitations of ancient glory unto this world, to educate the souls of men and endue with grace all created things, are invariably endowed with an all-compelling power and invested with invincible sovereignty. Okay. So he's putting in other, he's saying the same thing in different words. And we're going to break that down. The significance and essential purpose underlying these words that we just read is to reveal and demonstrate unto the pure in heart. So you're not going to understand if your heart is impure. If your heart is filled with, but that conflicts with something that I already think I know, or I'm not going to listen because I know too much, or I like my life the way it is and I don't want to change it, I don't want to give up anything, I want to protect what I have, be it material or spiritual knowledge, or what we think is spiritual knowledge. He's saying, demonstrate unto the pure in heart and the sanctified in spirit. So you're not going to understand unless you open your heart. And he's saying that they who are the luminaries of truth and the mirrors reflecting the light of divine unity. So he's talking about the manifestations of God. He says they are the luminaries of truth. And why are they mirrors? They're mirrors because, okay, we have to talk about what's divine unity. Divine unity is the realization that all of these divine messengers were one. They live and have their being in complete unity. It's true that sometimes the messages differ in some respects, and he's going to talk about that. If we continue reading, we're going to see where he explains why that is. But he says that these divine messengers of God reflect complete unity among themselves. No matter when, it says, in whatever age and cycle they are sent down. So it doesn't matter when they appear. From their invisible habitations of ancient glory unto this world. These divine messengers are of a different nature than humans. Because Baha'u'llah makes it really clear that the soul is created at conception. That's us. That's us humans. We are created at conception. But these divine luminaries, these manifestations of God, they have what we call pre-existence. They're sent down from their invisible habitations of ancient glory unto this world. Why? to educate the souls of men, and endue with grace all created things. God is giving us a gift through these messengers so that we may know what grace is. Are invariably endowed with an all-compelling power. They have supreme power and invested with invincible sovereignty. No one can overcome the power of these divine messengers. They can kill them, their bodies, but they cannot overcome the power of truth, which goes on and on. We see that because in spite of all of the degradation that had been heaped upon these divine messengers, they prevail in the hearts and souls of men and women. He goes on and he says, for these hidden gems, these concealed and invisible treasures, in themselves manifest and vindicate the reality of these holy words. Verily, God doeth what he willeth and ordaineth what he pleaseth. So he's saying these manifestations of God, who he calls hidden gems and invisible treasures, they prove that God is in charge. They prove that human beings cannot silence the voice of God. That the voice of God in the form of these messengers comes into the world from age to age and will not be silenced. So that's all I'm going to share today of this book. Thank you very much for joining me. Please share your ideas, your thoughts, your questions. It means a lot, and I love to address them. So have a beautiful day. God bless you. Ya Baha'u'llah.